Okay, Karen, thank you for coming to Digitech Today podcast.
Thank you too for
It's a pleasure to have you, Look beautiful and amazing.
Thank you.
And I know you're loaded with insights, knowledge, and of course, gem within the personal branding and development sector.
Yeah.
So one thing first, I saw yesterday you posted something and you are among the top 200 LinkedIn when it comes to matters of personal branding and audience building.
Yes.
Tell me, and interesting, you are at top 7. What I understand is that right now LinkedIn is very competitive.
Yeah, very.
Everyone is trying to push their brand, personal branding. Businesses are also pushing their businesses, their services, their products a lot on LinkedIn. It's become one of the most competitive platform right now.
Yeah.
And interestingly, also the Gen Zs, you're really rising on the platform. We've known you on Instagram, the young people on Instagram, on TikTok, but now you're leveraging on LinkedIn and actually becoming the top creators on LinkedIn. Tell me, what's your feeling about it and how have you achieved this?
So funny enough, I tell people that I've done this within a span of 1 year and they don't believe it. It's just been 1 year building my brand. I started last year in January actually. And when I started, it wasn't easy. That's one thing. I was from quitting a job and I was like, Pop, I have to do this. I have to become a freelancer. But I didn't know even which skill I'm going to go with, which niche I'm going to market, to brand myself on. I didn't know that. But starting, there were 2 things I knew I had to do. Investing in what? I tell people, invest in your time and money. Get time to learn, get money to learn. Learn from boot camps, master classes, courses, and also events. That is what has helped me to get to that where I am right now.
Within 1 year?
Yeah, it's within 1 year.
You've been on LinkedIn for the past, I think, for over 10 years.
Oh,
and I think your growth is, it's really encouraging. On today's episode of Digitech Today Convo, we are joined by the incredible Karanja, a leading personal branding and LinkedIn expert helping CEOs, executives, and brands build standout digital identities. Karen is a dynamic trainer, public speaker, and passionate advocate for personal development, known for transforming professionals into powerful online voices. Globally recognized, she ranks at number 31 among Favicon's top 200 LinkedIn creators and number 7 in Kenya for personal branding and influence. Get ready to unpack real, actionable strategies for building your brand in the digital era from one of the best in the game. So what does personal branding really mean in the fast-changing, fast-changing digital world? Like, there is a lot that is happening. So what does it really mean to a young person or to young businesses who don't know where to start from or who really don't understand when it comes to branding on the digital platforms?
Now, when it comes to branding, I was reading a book that said branding started in the 16th century, long, and it has been changing. Now, branding at this era, at our times, we as Gen Zs, it's basically, what will I say about you when you're not even in this room together with me? If there was someone here and he or she was asking me, who is Dawn? And I'll portray you, I'll tell them based on how you dress, how you speak, and now the value that you give on the social platforms. That is basically what branding is.
So how can professionals stay ahead or how can they keep up with the ever fast changing digital world? Everyday things are changing.
Yeah.
How can professionals or businesses stay ahead on these platforms?
It's very simple. You have to just follow the trends, one thing. Get to know what is changing. You change with it. Just like AI is coming. AI isn't here to replace us. People feel threatened with AI, but it isn't here to replace your brand, what you're doing. It's not. You just have to learn how to use it. Not it to replace you or even do the work that you do, but let it be your helper. So one, it's getting to know. You have to keep up with the trends. you have to look at the problems that you're solving, because that's why it all starts. The problems, identify the problems, then have that unique service that you're giving out, because we can be doing digital marketing with you, but what is that unique thing that you do differently from me? That one unique. I usually give an example of a shop. There can be 3 shops here and you've gone. One has way more people, it's crowded, the other one doesn't have. It's just a matter of that unique thing that you're giving to people that will make them come to you.
Yeah, talking of AI, AI has been sensational, right?
Yeah.
And every time you hear these discussions, when you attend networking events, master classes, people are worried like, AI is here. Is it going to throw us off the market? But I think there's something I read that AI is not here to replace the human capability.
Yeah.
It's just here to help us probably be more effective.
True.
But it's never going to take up the human capability.
No, it's never.
So aside that, now you've spoken how especially young professionals can stay ahead on the digital platforms. And I'm just wondering, what are now some of those practical steps they can, engage or fuse in their day-to-day activities in order to enhance this or to enable this beyond the formal education? Because, most people look at it from, if I'm branding my personal, if I want to come out as a personal brand, probably they're looking at their background in education. So what are some of those things they can do beyond formal education to stand out?
Now, one thing I like saying is education won't really help you when you're branding yourself, your business, whatever it is, it won't. The first thing, leave alone the education. Maybe you're going with something that you learned even in school. It's fine. But we lack some things, and also in the job market, in the job industry, even when recruiters are looking for employees, this is one thing they look at: soft skills. If I asked someone today what is a soft skill, they won't answer me. Soft skills are things like adaptability, being able to have attention to detail in something, being able to have a growth mindset, being able to have communication skills, all that. Those are the soft skills. Those are what we need now before you even start building your brand. Because in order for you to build a brand, it means you have to build yourself first. It's knowing yourself. Your values, what are you giving out to people? What will people know you for? That is basically it. So after now you know that, now you go ahead and start branding yourself. And before you brand yourself, optimize your profiles. No matter the social media platform you're using, optimize yourself and use keywords. Basically, that's easy.
Amazing. I love how you put them out. I mean, it doesn't look like you're in your 20s. Seems like you really mastered this craft. So now you've talked of soft skills.
Yeah.
Also, like I really look out to things on how to do personal branding personally as well.
Yeah.
And I was also having a discussion also with a friend. I know I have discussions with a lot of friends. I'm sorry. And she was telling me, yes, so many people also like pushing to learn hard skills. They want to learn coding, they want to learn digital marketing, graphics design, but people are lacking the soft skills you're talking about. And she was mentioning to me something to do like a skill like negotiation.
Yeah.
So you branded yourself, you know your value, but you can't even, you don't have the skills in terms of negotiation. So someone calls you probably for a gig or for a job, but you cannot even negotiate something. Probably you say, I want $100.
Yeah.
And the person is like, I can offer $500. How do you really negotiate without losing this client? Or how even either from as a business angle or from a personal angle, probably you're doing your own freelance thing. So this is something I think also young professionals need to look into when it comes to developing soft skills.
Very true.
Moving ahead, also young people struggle a lot with self-doubt. I've been there as well. So you're entering into a field, and let's talk about when you hear some of those jobs being advertised, and they say 10 years experience, right? Probably you're just from campus and you're wondering, how is this even practical?
I know.
So, or you go to these platforms, you meet people like you, Karen, who are very bold on the social platform like the LinkedIn. Every day they are posting consistency, they have engagement, and you're like, how can I even now start off? People already doing it.
Yeah.
How can they work on such things like self-doubt? Or how can they go beyond that aspect of looking at it from someone else is already doing it? How will I even do it? So self-doubt really, throttle most of young professionals. Yeah.
So when it comes to self-doubt, it will never go away. That is one thing we need to understand. And we as humans, we are created to have the self-doubt, the fears, all that. And even now at this step and this stage that I am, I've grown, yes, but there are moments I have the self-doubt. The moment I feel like, I can't do this anymore. Now what comes with self-doubt is you're comparing yourself with Don, but again, he is at his 10,000 day and you're at your first day. How can you compare yourself with someone who is at their 100 day and you're at your first day? That is one thing we need to be aware of. We should stop the comparison because self-doubts come from comparison.
Absolutely.
You are like, Don is doing this. Don, I want to start a podcast, but Don has started. You don't know the steps that Don has taken to have this podcast started, you see. And maybe it's his like 100, let me even say 100 podcasts that he's doing. But you're doing your first. Now we should learn to let our days that wherever you've started, don't let it give you self-doubt because you're comparing yourself with the other person. And for you even to end the self-doubt each and every day, you have to continue learning. You have to continue getting better at what you're doing. It's not about being perfect. Self-doubt also comes at you want to be perfect or you want to start something when you're already good at it. If I told you I started LinkedIn and I didn't know the algorithm of it, you laugh. I never knew. Even when I got my first client, I didn't know what LinkedIn, how it worked. But so you have to start with that self-doubt. Then each and every day, as long as you're adding 1%, you're improving 1%, then it will now eventually make sense. You will even stop comparing yourself with the other person. Because even the person you're comparing with, they also have that self-doubt.
Yeah, I think talking of that, probably can add on something. You see, we talked about like Don, I've started a podcast or something. Probably someone else wants to start. And already I've received like a few of comments, someone saying, I want to start a podcast, but I know it's very expensive, to buy those equipment. So someone will shy away. But for me, I'll tell them, I didn't start with all the equipment. I started with what I can start with.
True.
More to that, this podcast, we were talking about, the Diary of a CEO.
Yeah.
When you look at someone like the Diary of a CEO, the host, this is someone right now he's doing pure magic. Everything he touches us is just it's just blossoms. Every interview is just amazing. But now I look at him as an inspiration. For me to be more inspired, I go back and look at how did this guy start?
Exactly.
So when you dig down and do your research, you're like, this guy started even with, he was getting actually even 100 views. But right now he does something is like, 100 million views is just blossom. So it's good to reflect and try to see how did these people get here, not just about looking at it from where they are. Yeah, and now on to our next question is that time management and productivity are also big challenges to young people. And I think right now time is currency.
True.
So young people struggle with time, and that's why you find also young professionals, probably they are working and they negate the essence of building their personal branding or enhancing their personal development. So because you have an 8-to-5 job, you don't care about making your LinkedIn profile active, posting about what you do, your day-to-day activities, sharing some insights about your job or what you understand. And that is why you'll find some people will be stuck in one position for 5 years. They'll be stuck in one company or working in one portfolio for the longest time.
Very true.
What will you advise such people in terms of time management and productivity? Apart from having the 8-to-5 job or your normal gig, how can you go beyond that and build your personal presence?
Now, when it comes to someone in the 8 to 5, or maybe they're just doing something else and they want to build their brand. I remember yesterday I was in a webinar and I told them, you're saying that you don't have time to build your brand. That means you're being selfish. You don't care about yourself. Because if I asked you today, Dawn, if you stop creating content for your pages, will clients come?
No, they wouldn't.
They won't. They need to see you. It's just like Safaricom. They keep advertising each and every day. Why? Because they still need to maintain people. The more you continue creating content, the more people remember you each and every day.
And notice you.
Now, when someone is from 8 to 5, we have like 24 hours. Let me even give you 8 hours of sleep and now 8 hours of work, isn't it? Where are you taking the rest of the remaining hours? No, if you can just be honest, like when you try to think of it.
It's a lot.
The rest of the remaining hours, like they are a lot. There are like also other 8 hours remaining. What you do with that time now also depends with you. When you're someone who is 8 to 5, you wake up early, right? And there are people who wake up early just to bathe and just get out. There are those who wake up early, have a 1 hour span of learning. That's someone who knows what they want for their brand. Despite them being in the 8 to 5, they're building their brand. Even when it gets to a point of them quitting, they have a start.
Oh, yes.
You see, now for someone who doesn't even have even that plan or whatever, you have to create that time for yourself, for your brand. Now, you've woken up early, set time to learn, set time maybe to even create content and schedule it.
Yes.
When you're on transit, instead of scrolling on TikTok, these are the small things that we do as human beings. We see that they don't have effect and yet they do. So stop scrolling on TikTok just for the fun videos. You'd rather watch TikTok videos that are helpful for you.
Yes.
See, there's the option of following someone. If I want to follow Don and I want to be learning from his videos, I'll just go to the following tab, because that's how TikTok made it easy.
Yes.
Then I consume the content from the people that I've followed, people that I want to learn from, and that they inspire me. That is the first thing. The other thing is you can also post on transit. You can read a book on transit. You can listen to a podcast on transit. The small things that we assume, the breaks that people take on when they're at work. I'm like, Karen, I don't have time to engage on LinkedIn. I gave people a 5-5-5 framework. In the morning, engage with 5 people. Just 5. I didn't even say a lot. Comment on 5 people's posts. At lunch, 5 people the same. Comment on their post. And of course, thoughtfully. Don't just say thank you for sharing insightful.
Congratulations.
Nah, don't say that. Even if it's a congratulatory post, make sure that you're saying something.
Yeah.
You see about what they have achieved. Now in the evening also engage with 5. During this time you can even decide to go beyond the 5 people. But now I gave people the freedom of doing 5-5. That is how many people on LinkedIn? 15. That's already enough for someone who is starting.
Yeah.
So the right thing of time management is knowing how you manage your time. Literally, we have the time in our hands. We just know we are the people who know how to control time. Actually, that is something I came to learn. You are the person who knows how you control time. Yeah. Time doesn't control you. You're the one who controls time. We just have to stop overthinking about it. Now, when you build like these, you're creating time, you're creating the content, you're scheduling it, you're on transit, you're reading, you're learning. When will you stop saying that, oh, maybe it's never that hard? You see, you'll definitely stop saying that building a brand, it's hectic, it's headache. No, it's not. You just have to get the time to us and now know how to use it and utilize it, because we waste a lot of time. You see, if you be able to listen to a podcast on transit, read a book, 5 pages, it's enough each and every day. Engage with people the way I've said, morning, afternoon and evening. That's already enough. We have the time. Let's stop making excuses that I don't have time.
Absolutely. And I think talking of that, there is a research that did show Kenyans are very actually let's talk of Kenyans. They are very active on the socials.
True, I saw that.
And I think Kenyans were in Africa. Kenyans are highest consumers
Very
of
true.
social media. Someone was arguing that instead of just being, and the reason why we are not making the best out of the social media is because we are just consumers.
Yeah.
We need to be creators.
Creators.
You know, and that's why most people, you'll find they're following probably the wrong kind of content. They're consuming the wrong content. If I'm a digital marketer, I need to be watching more of digital content,
Yeah.
so that I can even get more insights, get more ideas on if I wanted to do my own content or share insights.
Yeah.
I'll have more to share. So yeah, and I've learned something, the 5-5 approach. I think probably that's something someone it's a takeaway.
Yeah.
You know, the 5-5, because for you to comment on someone post takes you less than a minute.
True.
And I think the more you do it, the more you become practical.
Yeah.
And the more you'll get used to it. Okay, so now let's talk about networking, you know, networking and building meaningful relationships. And I think for some time right now, or of late, we have a lot of events that happen.
Yeah.
Networking events, some free, some paid for, master classes, you know, webinars. There are so many platforms, even talk of WhatsApp communities.
True.
Where also people just network on WhatsApp communities based on different professionals. So you'll find WhatsApp groups there are different WhatsApp groups for digital marketers, tech industries, business owners, you know, startups. So there are so many opportunities when it comes to networking. But young professionals probably don't take a lot of advantage of these platforms. What's your take? Because I believe networking is a great way of building meaningful relationships and also enhancing your growth as a personal brand or as a business. What's your take on networking?
Now, when it comes to networking, we take it lightly. Let me say lightly, because someone can attend a webinar online, someone can even pay for a class online, or even a physical event, but they won't really take the advantage of it. You know, when it comes to even, let me start with webinars. You don't ever come out of a webinar if you haven't spoken in that webinar. Ask a question, or even say, thank you for the session. I learned, the way you've said I've learned the 5-5 framework. Just say something, because that one enhances your communication skills such that when you go to a physical event, you as Don won't be like, hey, will I talk to this person? Will I be able to communicate with people? Because people go and they see people in groups and they're like, people are networking like they have known each other for long, and people don't know each other.
They don't know each other, true.
So it's a matter of taking advantage and also teaching yourself how to communicate, because that is where mostly we feel like, I can't network because I don't know. If someone asks me, what do you do? My mind will be like, Karen, come up with a statement, come up with a very good one. You see, those are the things that we fall at. So when it comes to networking, let's first learn how to communicate just fluently. You don't even need to have like a very good English, like it's like you're twanging. No, you just need to be you. One, be as authentic as possible. If you're someone who likes your humor is just amazing, loves cracking jokes, it's okay. But also read the room. When networking, also read the room. Know who you're talking to, know who you're networking with.
Yes.
And when you're going to a networking event, make sure that you come out there with not less than 5 numbers. And not just numbers because you have saved. Because I've saved, you don't. Never do that. Make sure the following day, mostly the following day, reach out to the person. Appreciate them. How you people had a conversation. Just tell them, Don, it was amazing catching up with you. I didn't know digital marketing is that wide. But now I know. At least we'll have a conversation. We can even come up with a collaboration on maybe a masterclass or even a webinar. You see, when someone sees you've texted them in such a manner, they'll be like, definitely I'd want to connect with Karen.
You know, you're speaking my mind. You see, networking events for me have been a game changer. For the longest time as a digital marketer, I was so stuck being just a digital marketing specialist.
Yeah.
But I ever attended an event, a networking event, So after it was like actually like a master class. So after the event, we just networking different guys. So I met some other guy who was he was a digital marketing manager, and the funny thing is he was shifting, like in a month time he was going to shift his job to another role in another company. So he told me, so like, during the discussions and during the networking, I was very actually like asking questions and stuff. So and this guy was one of the speakers. So he told me, I'm actually shifting for my role and it's something I can recommend you. And that happened, and I got that role. Guys should take advantage of networking. They are free, and when you go there, don't just go to to watch, observe who is dressed well, who knows how to talk in English. So it's about, when you're going there, it's about you and your brand. Yeah.
Also, when it comes to networking, mostly when you know the details of the event, get to have someone you want to speak with. Mostly the speakers or one of the panelists. Go research about them. Go to their social media platforms. Get to see, what does Don do? What does Karen do? Maybe get to see what everyone does. Maybe the speakers and the panelists. And after that, you'll choose like one or two. Don't even stress on talking with all of them, because it can't happen. That's one thing you should know.
True.
And at times you might not even have the goal of, it's not a must you talk with anyone at all actually. But as long as you've studied, make sure that you'll also have that to ask a question. It will help you ask a question. And networking events help you as a person to identify your strengths. That is what has worked for me. I go to an event and someone tells me, Karen, why don't you try this? Or why don't you do this? Or why aren't you doing this? Networking events help you recognize what you can do from other people, because people see what you have. You can't see everything from your side.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I totally agree, because sometimes when someone else is able, when able to see how do people perceive you, then you're able to make the best out of yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, moving forward, personal branding, also we are talking of, the online market being very crowded and congested. And also this is something someone will be wondering, okay, you want me, I can do all this, or I'm good at this, but the market is so crowded. So how does someone stand out? You want to stand out as a digital marketer.
Yeah.
There's so many digital marketers right now, so many social media marketers. And that's why we were saying, like, there's so many people on the social media, such that other people be shy off from even being active on these platforms. So how can someone stand out, especially the young professionals, stand out in the crowded market as a brand that can be recognized?
When it comes to that, you usually tell someone, you can want to work with everyone, but again, it will never happen.
True.
Because there's someone who is targeting very, very high-end clients, someone who pays like 1 million for a contract, you see. It happens. There's someone who just wants to work with startups. Now, first you have to identify your target clientele. That is one thing that you have to know. Let me take an example of digital marketing, because that space is wide. Like it's really wide. You can be an overall digital marketer, or you can decide to go with something in digital marketing. If you know you can be an overall, then choose a specific niche of clientele that you'll be dealing with. That's one thing that people are confusing with getting to come out unique. You see, if you're done, you want to deal with everyone, then it's fine. Then you have to be up on your game. You have to know all their problems. You have to do research, like a lot. One thing I came to realize when we were talking with a friend the other day at a meetup, this topic of maths being removed as a compulsory subject, it will end the aspect of critical thinking. Now, when that comes to that, as Kenyans, and you can attest, we don't know about research as the Western countries do that much. So you, as someone in the digital age world, you have to know how to research. That is also one thing that will make you unique. You see, because you'll be like, this clientele, it's who I want to work with. What are their problems? what is this digital marketing not doing that I can do? You see, first you have to compare what this person is doing and what they are not doing. Then that is how you find your uniqueness. Also, bring something extra that you can give. You see, people enjoy going to the supermarket, and I know you also do that.
Yeah.
Unaenda unapata toothpaste.
Yeah.
It has an extra, maybe a smaller pack of it, or even sunlight. It has a smaller pack of it, or any other thing, any other item. It has a giveaway on it. So also have a giveaway on your services. Something on top. And you know what they do? They charge you the same, almost the same as that pack, but you'll see it's like a free.
It's like a free thing.
Yeah, you see. So also do that. Know how to play with your numbers when you're charging a client, but have that unique aspect of you. That service that maybe Karen isn't giving, then that's how you can be unique. That's one. Then I've also said about choosing a clientele. Because yes, digital marketers are there, social media managers are there, but there are those who want to work with everyone, and there are those who want a specific audience. You see, maybe someone who is dealing with what example you like, maybe even the sales industry. They just want to deal with those people. So know who you want to deal with first. You'll know how to be unique.
Oh, I'm getting some gems here. As you're speaking of that, we are moving away from, we used to know about USP.
Yeah.
Right now we're moving to USV. You know what I mean? Unique selling value.
Yeah, true.
It's more of now you selling your unique selling value. Previously, you could say your unique selling proposition is like, I'm a graphic designer.
Yeah.
Okay. Under digital marketing, I'm a graphic designer. That's your USP. But now as a graphic designer, what value,
True.
you could be something, there is something on top of you just being a graphic designer. So that is what I think also the young professionals should look at. So, and now the other question is authenticity. So we are there are also many guys who are scrambling to get on the digital platforms to brand themselves. And now there is an aspect of authenticity. Let me tell you, you see, we know these guys who do Forex, right? We know how they have mastered the craft of doing their online branding, so that we can perceive them as people having money. Not all of them have the money, but they have mastered that craft of how to brand themselves so that we perceive and see. So this Forex is where I can make quick money. But now that lacks authenticity. Whatever you're selling and whatever you are is not the same. So how does someone stand out, or how can we ensure that we bring out the authenticity? If I want to be known, I brand myself more into paid ads consultant and specialist.
Yeah.
How can I really brand myself, so that aspect of being a paid ad specialist, not just spoken online, but in real execution and in real life, I am good at what I am, what I'm talking about.
When it comes to authenticity, it's a topic that has been lately discussed. And I remember I connect this with a video I watched on YouTube. Don't bring out your full authentic self. Don't bring it out. What do I mean? Don't bring the bad habits, saying that you're authentic. You see, if I can give an example, let's say I'm someone who laughs out loud, and I go to an event and I'm laughing out loud, distracting everyone that's networking. That's an authentic part. I should learn how to close up and change it over time. You see, so know your weaknesses when you're trying to be authentic at the same time. Know, are these weaknesses going to affect me as a brand? If they'll affect you, then change those habits, because those are habits. Something like being laughing out loud, it's a habit that I decided maybe not to control me as a person. I'll just give an example. So if I decide to control it, me as a person, then it won't affect me and my brand. So let's learn first how to discover our strengths and our weaknesses, because those are the things that will cost us like a lot. And then now from there, we go now to the aspect of now you as a brand, you as a person, who are you? As the way you've given example of forex, those people have mastered. But over time, even you can attest, we have known that they have mastered. It's something that they have mastered, and we can just few people nowadays fall into their traps. But for someone who knows what it is, we don't.
True.
Now, when it comes to you as a brand, a business, a company, an organization, let your authenticity come out in a way that your authentic part of doing A/B testing. A/B testing, you create content, maybe you make a video in this format, and then tomorrow you make a video in this format. So I observe the first week, this format, these videos have been doing this, and then the second week, maybe these videos have been doing this. 2 different formats. Now I'll get to analyze the videos and be like, people are liking this part than the other part.
That part.
Yesterday, someone in the webinar was telling me, Karen, when I create a video, somehow making jokes and all, it's doing well. But when I be serious, it's not doing good. Now, in that scenario, I usually tell someone, you should know how to incorporate the jokes part now with communicating the value. You see, you should know how to, you someone who knows how to tell good jokes. Now, how can you put value in that content for people to continue consuming it? You see, so you should literally get to know yourself. It starts from self. Get to know yourself, and now from there you'll know how to give out that content, but with a lot of value.
Oh, yeah. And I think, sorry I've cut you short, but I think that is a very important, because I think also most people struggle with, even me, sometimes you find that those some content you post that is a bit more, more goal oriented, like you want to pass information about, let's say, a certain topic. And then that those posts you do, maybe they're just comic posts, they'll get a lot of, a lot of readership or viewership, as opposed to some of those that you expect also to get the same. For me, I always feel like sometimes you see not all content is meant to be consumed the same way. Some of those probably the serious content, probably it's 10% of your audience. The others, they just, probably you have 50k followers, let's say on LinkedIn. Probably 10% of the 50,000 are the ones who are in the industry that you're in. But all the others, they can consume those comic things. And that is why when you post something comic, probably 90% of audience will relate. But when you post something in relation to your industry or your work, the 10% will relate. So I always feel like it shouldn't make you, feel demotivated. It's all about you understanding how how they work. Yeah, so it's an interesting aspect, but also learning from you is that we need to, incorporate. Probably you can have a bit of a nice hook, which is comic, combined with your communication. Then you'll be able to get more viewership, or you'll be able to attract more audience to your platform. So moving ahead, so there is also a lot of misconceptions when it comes to personal branding, how we're supposed to brand ourselves online, or how exactly a brand should be seen online. What's your take in terms of for young professionals, what they should avoid, especially when it comes to personal branding? What are some of those things they should avoid? Because I know there are so many misconceptions around the same.
So one thing people should stop saying, personal branding isn't for executives, it's not for CEOs, it's not for HRs, it's not for maybe some employed people. No, it's for everyone. I remember on Saturday I was in KU telling them how personal branding is also for students who are in university.
Exactly.
As long as you know what you're doing, then personal branding will work out for you. That is one misconception you should scrap off. Another thing is, personal branding isn't how much you have, maybe in terms of money mostly, because people say me, I don't have money, I can't build my brand. No, you should now take advantage with the small things that you have. Use whatever is within your reach to build your brand. And now when it comes to tomorrow, it will get better. You'll get better. Your images will get better. But start with what you have. I remember when I was starting, I couldn't like even stand on the streets and get a photo, like a photo. But when I went to events, I knew, Karen, you must be well dressed. Take advantage of the photographer.
Yes.
That is what I call using what is within you. You see, I take advantage and I come and use those images, and people will say they are good. So it's a matter of you knowing how to use what is within your reach, and now getting better at what you're doing. That is another misconception you should scrap off. It's not only about people who have money. Personal branding isn't for coaches, isn't for trainers, isn't for personal branding experts, because someone will be like, I'm an IT person. I get this from IT people, and I think IT people now should, literally I'm talking to IT people. IT people should stop saying that they can't build their brands. Everyone can. I think I saw a farmer on LinkedIn, and those people are doing good. There's a beautician, there's a fashion designer. So why say that personal branding is for specific industries, yet it's not?
It's not.
The reason why you're saying that is because you feel like it's hard being in that industry. But the clientele is there, the audience is there. You just haven't gone for it. So let's know how to. Because imagine you're in IT and you built your brand, or you're a graphic designer, you built your brand. You're among the top 1%, literally. You see. So these are some of the things that we should leave behind. Get to work on ourselves, get to work on those brands, no matter the skill that you have. I usually tell someone, there's someone who is, I had a clarity call, they're in the construction industry and they want to build their brand on LinkedIn and even the other socials. So if someone in the construction site can build their brand, who are you not to build yours? You see, anyone can.
I think also talking of the guys in the IT, we also have now guys in the law sector. So every day they're normally asking, how can I really market myself online? But now interestingly, you've seen of late, we have these guys in the law who are doing so good. You don't talk of the TikTok. You'll see them, they're doing thought leadership, doing short videos telling people, let's say civil versus crime cases, when you're caught by a police, how you should act, like they're just doing some short informative videos, and this is really blessing them very well. And that is part of personal branding. And I think it's one of the easiest. Very true. Just sharing what you know.
That doesn't have competition.
Yes,
theirs is much easier.
So I think there's a lot of myth and misconceptions where people think personal branding is meant for certain people. Like it's a CEO who is supposed to brand themselves. Okay, now guys know how to, now assuming someone knows how to do their personal branding, and they're thinking of pivoting or rebranding, probably shifting careers. How do they really go about it? You've really built your platform, your personal branding is standing out, and now it's time you want to change careers. Nowadays you hear even someone changing from being into media. Maybe he or she was in media, he or she's changing into a field like medical. How do you navigate that?
When you're building a brand, you're not building for yourself. When you're creating content, you're not creating for yourself. You're creating for people. When it comes down to that, you changing your career, you want to even rebrand your profiles, first notify your audience. They have been consuming your content, they have been reacting, they have been engaging with it. Notify your audience. That's the first step. And notify them within 1 week. Give stories. Why am I taking this pivot? Why am I deciding to go for this instead of this? What did I learn from this other career? What mistakes did I do? If I'm going to this other career, why am I going into it? What have I seen that will benefit me more than the other one? Tell them, give them a story. 1 week is enough for people to accept. Karen now is changing into another part. You see, The moment now you notify your audience, they'll be comfortable because they'll feel you care. That's the basic of it. We build our brands, we create content for our audience. So if you've been creating content for yourself, that is why your content doesn't do well. That's one thing people forget. So you should create content for them, not for yourself. Don't create it in a way that, oh, I feel it's good. What will they feel? So the moment now you've notified your audience, now it will be easier for you to re-optimize your profiles. Definitely with the keywords that research, the keywords that are used a lot in this industry. And now from there, come and optimize your profile.
Wow, that is definitely, very insightful, because shifting careers or shifting roles or pivoting is never an easy thing. Even from just shifting, even from one position to another, people find it hard to reposition themselves. So maybe, what's your parting shot? Just for young professionals and small businesses who want to take advantage of personal branding to be able to position themselves better.
Start today. Start now. Don't start tomorrow, because that tomorrow will never come. That's one thing we all should know. And when you start, you must know it's not going to be easy. Just like the way a baby starts walking, it's never easy for them. So start now. Be consistent. Join consistency and quality. Let them go hand in hand. When you're creating content, let it be of quality. Let the content have value. And now be consistent. Because you can create quality content, but again, you don't have the consistency in it. So have quality and consistency merged together and do it on a daily basis. Show up daily. Another thing, show up daily. Show up when you don't feel like. Show up when no one is clapping for you. Show up when no one is checking up and asking you, Karen, do you have a client? Don, do you have a client? How are you taking things? Such like things. The next thing is, when you feel like it's too much, take a break. It's not a crime. Take a break. It's allowed. And even while at it, take short breaks. Go out there, meet people, get to hear their perspectives, literally. And just know that building a brand and works together with your personal growth. If you're not ready for personal growth, then don't be ready for building your brand, because they go together. Because you'll need to have a growth mindset. You'll need to have the soft skills, communication skills, negotiations, attention to detail, because when you have attention to detail, now you'll be able to know, this is where I'm not supposed to do, this is what I'm supposed to do, this is what I'm supposed to focus on, these are the trends that are happening. Something also like adaptability. Are you able to adapt in that industry that you are in? So it's a matter of you starting now and doing it, no matter who is there encouraging or discouraging you. Just do it.